by Indigo and Angelina Rivera.
It don't make no sense for the girl to talk to no way because it's not going to be on. No. You might as well wait till it come on before.
SHN Live is an online audio and visual production company based out of Austin, Texas that specializes in broadcasting live events. Hi, I'm Carl Schoening, Director of Broadcasting and co-founder of SHN Live. When my business partner Rob Hipp and I started SHN Sports in 2015, we made our slogan, "Your Team, Your Broadcast," because we envisioned bringing live broadcasting to undercovered sporting events as affordable as possible to schools and organizations. We started out with Georgetown ISD high schools and in 5 years have expanded to 6 states with over 30 affiliates, while also doing production for NCAA teams, conference tournaments, and even the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. In 2020, we rebranded to SHN Live as we provide resources and training for more than just sports. SHN Live is for anyone interested in any kind of online media production. We make broadcasting on our platform free, and we teach our affiliates how to most cost-effectively start broadcasting. If you have a computer, we can teach you the basics of live streaming today. If you become an affiliate, you can put on live streams that look and sound professional once you have collected all of our recommended equipment. And by being an SHN affiliate, we will provide sales support, audio and visual elements to improve your broadcast such as static and motion graphics, access to our Facebook SHN Live affiliates page, and on-demand troubleshooting and tutorial videos. You can also contact Rob or myself for help, and we'll get back to you free of charge. Rebranding in 2020, SHN Live started because of one question. Why pay third-party companies hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year for live streaming when you can own your own equipment and put on a professional quality live stream at any time yourself? With SHN's platform, you can control everything from who is on your broadcast to keeping 100% of your advertisement money sold. While SHN will try to sell advertisements with national companies across the network and then give a kickback to participating broadcasts. If you want your broadcast to look and sound the best possible, we recommend getting the SHN Live Academy subscription, where we teach you everything you need to know about online media production. For an affordable monthly investment, you will get a credit towards SHN services, access to monthly broadcasting webinars produced by SHN Live, monthly broadcast critiques, access to advanced SHN video tutorials where we teach fundamentals of broadcasting with experienced professional broadcasters, and how we create our audio and visual elements so you can make your broadcast more personalized, as well as discounted rates for our services such as making those broadcast elements, emergency support calls when service can be available, and enhanced sales support for your broadcast. If you want your events to be broadcast professionally and on your own budget, fill out the form below and we'll get you set.
Hi, my name is Rick Kennedy, and I'm running for United States Congress here in the 17th District in Central Texas. Healthcare is far and away the most important issue to the people of Central Texas. And while our healthcare system is incredibly complex, what people want from healthcare is really quite simple. They want access to quality healthcare, and they don't want to go broke or bankrupt trying to pay for it. That's why I support the Medicare for America Act. Medicare for America will provide access to quality healthcare for all Americans. It will provide protection for bankruptcy due to healthcare costs. It will help us rein in the cost of prescription drugs by allowing the government to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies, and unlike other proposals, will not outlaw private health insurance.
He said something to me later on. I said, "Greg, y'all turn that racist, not me." Honestly, if you're man, before I was 25 or something with drugs, I was scared to death of cops all the time. But once you find a way to get on the right track,
Samantha Semeniego, escorted by her dad, Jorge Semeniego.
Did he post something stupid on the post? JR had posted something about dude getting shot or whatever. Somebody posted.
I wanted to apologize. I think I
To Black Cat Field here tonight, August the 28th, the first Black Cat game of the year. This is Jeremy Sunday, Wallace High, and Freddie Greer is going to be manning the camera tonight. Wallace and I will be bringing you play-by-play in color. Wallace, man, it was hot out there during Parents' Night, wearing my blue jeans and my Black Cat shirt. But since I got back up here and got my shorts and Greer Time Media sports broadcasting t-shirt, feel a lot better out here.
Yeah, I think y'all, it was hot and the sun was beaming while y'all were out on the field, and as soon as y'all came off, me and Freddie were sitting up here, and we got this great gust of wind, and it's just kind of continued for about the last 10, 15 minutes. So it's been a lot better feeling since I first got up here. We brought a couple fans to help keep us cool, but we hadn't really needed them too much.
The biggest improvement this year, we want to thank Freddie for bringing us some stools.
Right. We don't have to stand up on our feet the whole game.
I won't be going home limping tonight.
And just looking, and just getting into the field and looking out, it's not a packed house like we're accustomed to, and, that's designed due to the COVID precautions. So we're going to try to bring you as much of the game and as much interaction as we can, knowing that as many people as usually are in Black Hat Stadium aren't allowed to be in here tonight. But I think we're going to have a good game.
Before we get started here, I want to bring something live to everybody out there. We want to say thank you for listening in. But let's just take a moment to take time and think about the families that's lost people to COVID, people that have gotten sick and haven't gotten over it yet, all the injustice and the social stuff going on out there today. In Mexia, a lot of times we don't have to deal with that, but in other parts of the United States they are, and just prayers out to all of the families that's involved in that, and hopefully one day we'll be able to get through a year where we don't have a hurricane, a pandemic, all the social stuff going on, and we can just enjoy the world for what it is these days.
Right, and as both teams are taking the field, I want to echo those sentiments. My thoughts and my prayers go out to those families that have been affected during this time. My family, everyone else's family, and kudos to Mexia ISD for taking all the necessary precautions and the required steps to just be able to bring us this football game tonight, to allow these kids, these players, the staff, the fans that are able to be here, and those of you that are going to be watching and listening to us tonight, just to enjoy some football and get some sense of normalcy for this time of the year.
Well, this is new this year. For you guys out there and ladies out there, we're sitting here watching it live, and luckily the UIL this year, due to the pandemic, is now saying, hey, you fans out there at home that aren't going to make it to the game, guess what? Y'all get to watch it live just like we do, and I'm hoping that we can bring great play-by-play and color to y'all through this. Wallace and I really enjoy. We've been in sports our whole life. We've coached. I had one graduating tonight, and it's amazing to sit up here and get to watch the games live, knowing not everybody can be here for us, but an amazing feeling I can bring it to you on your telephone, whether it's on your computer, whether it's on your TV. We're able to come in live tonight.
Right. And we're going to take a minute for our national anthem. And just before we start, since we're not able to, if you're on, share the link for other people to get on and watch it. We know there's many people who want to be able to experience this that may not know exactly how. Hit share on your phone or your computer or whatever it may be as we bring you the national anthem. about getting set for the opening kickoff of the 2020 Mexia Black Hat football season, as the Mexia Black Hats will take on the Cameron Yoemen. We'll have the captains come out to midfield.
We're going to take a sponsor break, and we'll be right back to bring you Black Cat Football 2020. While we're sitting here.
Hi, my name is Rick Kennedy, and I'm running for United States Congress here in the 17th District in Central Texas. Healthcare is far and away the most important issue to the people of Central Texas. And while our healthcare system is incredibly complex, what people want from healthcare is really quite simple. They want access to quality healthcare, and they don't want to go broke or bankrupt trying to pay for it. That's why I support the Medicare for America Act. Medicare for America will provide access to quality health care for all Americans. It will provide protection for bankruptcy due to health care costs. It will help us rein in the cost of prescription drugs by allowing the government to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies, and unlike other proposals, will not outlaw private health insurance.
As we're back to Black Cat Field, we just had the toss, and Cameron won, and they have elected to receive this first half. So Mexia will be kicking off, kicking from right to left. As we talked last year, Mexia is one of the only fields that lays east and west. So when we say from left to right, we mean we're going from east to west, and when we say right to left, we're going west to east. The wind is pretty high up here. I'm sorry if y'all are getting some wind play on this.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to try to bring it to you, but like I said, we're getting some pretty good gust of wind right now, so there might be some static or some interference throughout the broadcast.
So Mexia is lined up. We got 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, and a kicker lined up at the 40 to get this 2020 season kicked off.
Got both kickers lined up in formation, one to the left and one to the right of the ball.
So we got a little trickery right off the bat here to start out with.
It'll be David Davila who puts the ball in the air, and he booms it deep back into the end zone.
He fumbles it back into the end zone, and they're just going to touchback. So that's an exciting new wrinkle that Mexia has come out with 2 kickers, one left-footed, one right-footed.
Right.
And that was a pretty good boot.
Yeah, David's got a strong leg. He's a freshman kicker. I've been fortunate enough to watch him over the years kicking. He's a very strong and sure-footed young man. So Mexia will come out. They'll take over on defense first with the ball on the Yoemen 25.
So Cameron's going to come out and line up in a spread formation, 2 to the top and 1 to the bottom with 2 running backs, and Mexia is going to run a 3-4-5. Is that right? 3-4-4.
It'll be quarterback keeper up the middle, and he's up.
Oh!
And he's dropped at the 30-yard line.
That is Trey Holman.
That was Trey Holman. No, it was Jarrell Wiley
with the big
who
hit.
Came down and met him at the 30 and put him on the ground with bad intentions.
Well, now Cameron comes back to the line real quick, and they're going to have trips to the top, 1 to the bottom, and the quarterback's got one running back to his right. Snap back. They're going to wrinkle him in the backfield, and he never got to make a move, Wallace.
And that was Jarrell Wiley again getting through the line of scrimmage and bringing him down in the backfield. And that's something we haven't seen the last couple of years is some of those big names we've heard on offense are going to be playing on the defensive side of the ball as well. And that time Wiley's already making his name heard with his defensive plays.
So as we come back, Mexia in their 3-4-4, 2 to the top and 1 to the bottom. We had a man jump, but they're not going to call it. We got it. Oh, it looked like he was going to jump that, but
he was.
he come down a little shorter, they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, they're going to put it right on the 35, looks like, Jeremy, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
You know, he clearly come down on the 34.
Yeah, it looks like they spotted him a few feet ahead of where he was tackled, but
good hit right there from Christian Clark on that one, and I believe it was B.J. Sunday was right there with him, number 8. So Cameron comes back to line with dual running backs, twin to the bottom, one to the top, and it's just going to be a quick handoff. And there's a holding right there. Are we going to get a flag?
There's no flag on the field, but a host of Black Cats drove him down for a loss of 1 on that play. You know, and that was good. I'm not sure who that was, but they were able to hold that contained even though they were getting held by that Yoemen lineman, and it allowed the other Black Cats to rally to the football and make that tackle for a loss.
It looked like that was Connor out there on the left that got spun around, held. As Mexia comes back to line scrimmage, Cameron's 2 up top and kind of in a wing tee, throwing a quick pass outside, and Lamarian Miller. That number 1 looked up and seen 4 and said, sorry, guys, it's down for now.
You know, Lamarian was coming downhill on a beeline for one, and and one was just like, I don't want any part of that. He made a business decision and got down.
You look out there and you see 3 big defensive linemen for Mexia, and then you see 3-4 linebackers, and then you look back there and the biggest guy on the whole field is Lamarian Miller at safety. So we got trips to the top, 1 in the back, and 1 down here to the bottom, and we had movement again, but we ain't going to have no flag.
Oh, it's an interception.
Trey Holdman intercepts, and he's going to take it to the house.
Oh, he gets him out about the 2-yard line.
Trey read that from the very beginning. That quarterback looked that wide receiver down from the very high snap of the ball to he threw it, and Trey just – I mean, the wide receiver was 4 yards from it. Trey just knew where it was going.
And I don't know if the wide receiver would have had a chance either because the cornerback sat on it perfect as well. But Trey broke from that safety spot and just ran under it and looked like he was taking the ball.
That is something that's good to see that we haven't got to see in the last couple of years is these kids that can play both sides are going to get to play both sides.
Right. And now we'll get a glimpse of Mexia's new offense for the first time this year, as the formation is going to be a little different than what we're used to. We're not going to see the spread here on this down on the goal line.
We're going to come out in the wing tee here.
Oh.
And we got a fumble. And
it looks like Mexia recovered it.
Mexia's going to have a 2nd and goal right here on the 2-yard line. Is
some miscommunication on the snap, and the ball kind of shot straight up in the air, but Miller was able to dive on it.
That's the last thing you want to happen here is you got that big play momentum changes and come out and have an unforced error right off the bat.
You know, and for Mexia, this is their first game action of the season, not being able to have their scrimmages and not be able to go against anyone. So you kind of expect some mistakes, but you don't want a mistake like that when you're down inside your 5.
No. Height here. Lamar Miller's going to hand it off to Wiley. And
no, he keeps
there's another
fumble.
As Mexia's recovered it once again. This time it looked like Lamar was going to hand it off, and he changed his mind, and then he gets hit from behind. The ball pops in there.
I think Trey Jones was able to dive down on it and get it. So it'll be Mexia's ball, 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. And you just want to take care of the ball here. You want to get it in the end zone, but at the worst, you want to give yourself a chance to get 3 if you get to 4th down. So we'll see what the Black Cats do here on 3rd and 4. Well, 3rd and goal from the 4.
They're running a tight wing tee type offense right down here low, and we're going to hand off to Wiley, and he's going to push, but he's not going to get much push.
Oh, he's still driving his feet. He's finally brought down.
And you know, one marking at the 5, another was trying to mark it at the 7 here, but I guess we're going to come on and kick a field goal here.
And I think it's going to take a little bit for him to get the wrinkles out in the offense. And I don't know, you're down in close. You got to be real fine-tuned when you're in that tight to the goal line.
That's a win for Cameron right here. But
Mexia can get points on the board first here, strike first.
Snap back. Kick is up. And it is good. Your Black Cats draw first blood with a field goal, and that puts them up 3-0 with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left. We're going to go to a timeout.
And that was number 42, Gustavo Martinez, with the field goal that time, the left-footed kicker.
You know, while we have a spot here, let's thank some of our sponsors.
Hold on.
This year, we a lot of people were hoping or were holding out, hopefully thinking that we weren't going to get to play, but we have Mike Terry Auto, we have Heritage, we have Woodman Life, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Joe Fridays, Greer Media Time are all sponsors this year for your Black Cats, and we're still looking for more. If y'all want to sponsor businesses or if families want to sponsor, just let us know. And sponsors are going, we're having Students of the Week this year, athletes and band members at halftime, and each sponsor will be one that sponsors that. So if you want to sponsor, look up Freddie or myself or Wallace, and we're all on Facebook, and we'd love to get your company in there or your family. Mejia's back to kick off with 2 kickers once again. And now we're going to kick it with the left-footed kicker.
Oh, we're gonna get a face mask.
How did we not get a face mask right there? Boy, we got away with it. That was Frankie, right?
13.
No, Xavier Molina. Well, you know,
he went streaming down the field.
If it was anyone
out
out there, I love Xavier. Had him in T-ball, and he's going to do what it takes to get him to the ground. That's for sure.
And his hands rode a little high, but he got him down. And
so Cameron to start their second drive at their own 31, moving from left to right. Cameron's going to come out with trips to the top and twins to the bottom with a quarterback in the backfield by himself. Snap back. He's going to roll out to the right, and that's not going to work, guys.
And that
Lamarian Miller is not going to allow you to do that.
And that was a great job by B.J. Sunday of stopping him, and then Lamarian just came and punished him at the end.
He wanted to come around that end quick, and B.J. was there and pushed him outside, and when he went outside, that was it. Lamarian Miller said, not today. So Cameron's going to be back up to the line. They're going to have twins to the top, one running back to the left of the quarterback, and one down here to the bottom. Snap back, handoff to the running back, and picks up about 4 yards.
And that was number 2, Trey Holman, there on the stop. As he put his head down with the running back, and they collided, and Holman was able to bring him down. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 7 out here on the second drive for Cameron.
Well, that's what they teach you on defense, is to get lower in the running back, and a lot of times it's tough. But Trey got lower and put his shoulder right in the gut, trying to knock the ball out. So now we got back trips to the top, single to the bottom, running back to the left of the quarterback. Snap back, and it's going to be a pass and another slant. And off the fingertips of number 1 for the Cameron Yoe.
Yeah, and it looked like it was deflected at the line of scrimmage, as you seen the umpire there, because he gave the little scrub off his fingers, so there wasn't a chance for a pass interference.
And that's what they told you big guys up front. If you can't get to him,
get your hands up.
Get your hands up. And Mejia 2 times on defense has given up 1 first down, and we got the punt returner Trey Holman back. He was 1 step away from making about 5 last year. Let's see if he can't get one to start out the 2020 season.
He's got a strong wind that he's punting into, and it carries that ball good and then just kills it away from Holman.
And, I was really shocked. They didn't kick away from Trey.
No, I think the wind pushed it away from him. He drove that ball, and Trey was retreating to return it, and then all of a sudden the wind caught it and just sent it sideways and down to the ground, so he didn't have a chance to try to get any yards back on it. Mejia take over now from their own 23-yard line.
So Cameron's going to have their second time on defense as they stop Mejia on goal line defense earlier, and Mejia's going to come back out on the offensive side of the ball here. And they're going to line up in a slot T this time.
Yeah, you have a big receiver out to the bottom of the field in Jabron Busby.
Mejia's going to hand off to number 11 coming around the right side.
That's Trey Jones. He cuts back. He stays on his feet, and he picks up a good 5 yards.
Good play. That's the first positive play for Mexia, and maybe not being inside the goal line works for us.
Makes you have to spread out a little more, and you can use more of that speed that they have out there. And you know, like we said earlier, they're getting accustomed to this too, and just having to get timing. Being in as tight as they are with some of the speed they have back there, they're going to have to get that timing down.
Yeah, that's what I asked the other night. The coach, you know, and some of the players, they've been in a spread for 5 years, and now they're in a tight. It's going to be a handoff to Wiley, and he's going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage. But the change from the spread to this is going to be tough, not having spring ball and not getting to do a lot in the summertime, because it seemed in the summer every time they got rolling, they'd have to stop and be off a week because that was what the state of Texas said they had to do. So Mejia's going to run the play in. Number 12 is Keaton Dunn. You know, it's odd to look down here on this player sheet and be in 2020 and not see any wide receivers.
Right.
Mexia jumps.
You're going to get false start. You had some Cameron players look like jumping, trying to induce the false start, and they were successful in it. As you had about 2 or 3 guys up on the right
as long
side
as
of
they
the
don't
line.
come across that line of scrimmage, they're able to jump as much as they want to. As we're sorry about the wind noise out there.
Mejia's going to have to be very disciplined and hold their water, as a lot of older coaches say, when you're on that line and they're jumping around and you're trying to get where you need to be.
Mexia snaps again. It looks like it's going to be a handoff here to the outside.
Trey
Holman gets
it. That's a face mask.
But I think the refs left their flags at the house, which, you know, is fine with me.
Yep.
But Mexia got away with one earlier, and now Cameron gets away with one. So,
and that was Holman around the corner. He was able to get inside and pick up a couple yards, but it won't be enough for a first down. So Mexia looks like they're going to send their punting unit out.
So we do have a new style of punting this year. It's going to be real interesting to watch here as they do a rugby-style punt. And we're running someone on late. Wiley runs on late as we got 5 seconds left. Snap back.
We're going to get a timeout as the play clock was running down. And you hate to use it on
a punt formation.
But you're inside your own 30, and you're going to be punting into this crosswind.
And your defense is playing so well, and you want them to have the length of the field to go for you, not do something that's not smart and have a short field.
Right. So here, as we have a timeout, we'll go to a sponsor break, and we'll be back with more action from Black Cat Field.
You're listening to Mexia Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Greer Time Media, Posey Napa Auto Part, Greer & Greer Mobile Detail, Mookie's Mesquite Patch Barbecue, Woodman Life Insurance, and Joe Fridays.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
As we're back to Black Cat Field, Mexia is lining up from right to left to punt the ball here. Number 31, David Davila is the punter for Mexia. Bad snap, but he gets the kick away.
A low liner.
And it's going to go out about the Cameron 38.
Yeah.
And that's could have been a whole lot worse with that snap, but we got away with it.
Yeah, he was able to keep it low, and so it kind of just sliced through the wind and then pushed.
Last year, by this time we were in shootouts a lot of times. It might be 21-0 Mexia,
Right.
14-0, and
You look up at
9 minutes into this game, and it's 3-0. Welcome back, 1989.
and right here you want Mejia's defense to hold again and get Cameron off the field.
Cameron comes out and twins to the top, twins to the bottom, one on the left side, drop back to pass, and he's going to roll out to the right, and that ball hit the ground. And they're not going to call it, and it's going to be a first down for Cameron, but that ball clearly hit the ground.
Yeah, that ball was on the turf when he scooped it up. And I don't think the lineman or the back judge saw it.
Well, it was right in front of the referee. I don't know how.
The referee, I don't know.
So Cameron's got a first down on their own 49. They're going to come out and trips to the bottom with one single wide receiver to the top with one running back and 5 linemen here. And this is just typical spread that most high school teams run in the state of Texas. Snap back and fake to the running back and a little bubble screen outside.
Oh, he steps out of bounds. And
he's brought down about the Mexia 40,
yeah,
but you're right.
Looks like he stepped out about the 45, 46-yard line.
You know, the thing about the officials is they hadn't been off any. I guess they're not getting to practice in the evening times or something because we've had some face mask miss. We've had balls on the ground, and they're just letting them play right now,
Like they
though.
say, it's their first game, too.
So Cameron comes with one up, twins to the bottom, one to the top, and a running back beside the quarterback, and he's just going to hand off to the running back, and he gets a total of about 5 yards on the carry.
Yeah, and just looking now, it looks like Mejia's gone to a little more of their speedier defensive alignments, and Cameron's trying to take advantage of that by just running it at them and trying to overpower. We'll see.
So Cameron comes out with one to the top, trips to the bottom. Quarterback with a running back wing beside him to the left. Snap back, and it's a fumble. And Lamar Miller says, no, sir, not on the outside once again.
Yeah, and then that was number 58, John Luna, who came screaming in from that linebacker position and chased him down as well.
Well, Cameron got to scrimmage last week against Madisonville, I believe is what I was told. And, of course, Mejia's got canceled. So we're getting to play for the first time, and Cameron's had a chance to get some of the quirks and out, but they're just making as many mistakes as Mexia right now.
You know, it's early in the season. And
well, Cameron has trips to the bottom, one to the top, running back winged right to the quarterback. And we got movement. Are we going to call?
I don't know.
Illegal motion on Cameron here. Yeah. That could have gone both ways.
I seen 2 Mexia defenders move, but I don't think either of them actually got into the neutral zone before the Cameron players moved.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Wallace, when you're down there on the line like that, are both teams hollering and screaming?
Yeah, because you're getting, especially when you're in as tight as these teams are right now, you're getting quarterbacks giving signals. You're getting linemen calling out their assignments. You're getting defensive players calling out offensive sets and calling out their plays and their changes to counter the offense. And if you're not disciplined, you'll listen to the wrong thing and you'll jump.
We got trips to the right, drop back pass.
Oh, and Mejia's speed. He gets it away.
He gets it away. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, the quarterback got it away, and number 8 didn't look like he really wanted to catch that ball. But if he did, there was going to be a black cat right there as he turned around. And
that was Xavier Molina, who came screaming from the opposite side behind the quarterback and almost got there.
So that's going to bring up a punt situation. No, Cameron's going to go for it right here. 4th and 10.
Looks like Mejia's going to bring in some more size.
So Cameron comes in with twins to the bottom with a tight end on the right side, one up top. And the quarterback drops back for a little pooch punt.
Oh, yeah. And that ball hits, and it hits the player.
It hits him about the 13. They're going to call it at the 15-yard line where he threw his beanbag, and that's going to be 1st and 10 for Mexia.
Yep. So that's a good job by the Mexia defense of getting off the field and holding Cameron after a couple big plays there by Cameron. And we'll get to see the Mexia offense come out for a 3rd time and all we can hope is that we keep seeing the wrinkles kind of iron themselves out a little bit and a little bit more each time this offense takes the field.
So Mejia's going to come out in a tight look once again with their tight ends on each side and three running backs. It's going to be a fake, and then
a keeper by Miller.
Miller's going to fight for about 3 yards. So it'll bring up 2nd and 7. Wallace, I think they're just trying to do quick hits right now to get synchronized.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is, because everybody's hyped up, your adrenaline's pumping, you're anxious for this first game, and it doesn't look like they're completely meshed. So I think, maybe they're going to just start doing some little simple stuff to get them in a rhythm.
So we got the tight look again. Snap, handoff to Wiley up the middle, and he is just itching to break a long one right now.
And he was about a step that time from breaking one, as somebody was able to get their hands on his shoestrings.
And as we know from last year, he'll hit everybody on the field, or if he just gets one little crack, he's gone.
Right,
and that's going to be the end of the first quarter.
And we apologize, we don't have a roster right now for the Cameron Yoemen, but we're going to get one to bring you their names. We'll end this quarter. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here with more Black Hat football from Black Hat Field.
2020.
You keep it.
Neighbors and friends, hi. My name is Freddie Greer Sr., and I'm a candidate for Limestone County, Mexia, Texas City Council District 2. For over 20 years, I have volunteered my time, energy, and leadership to serve my community. I'm a proud father and a concerned citizen. I'm approachable, available, and I want to serve as your next City Council member for District 2, and I approve this message.
All right, and we're back here at Black Hat Field with Black Hat football as Mexia takes the field here for the first snap of the second quarter. Snap back to Miller. Oh, he hits a gap and he breaks free and he's pushing forward, and he's able to pick up a gain of about 8 on that play, and that's going to be enough for a first down for Mexia. And that time you were able to see Miller's pure power as he took that snap and just pushed himself forward for those 8 yards, and he carried, bucked, and drug about 5 Cameron players that time.
Mejia's going left to right, comes back in a tight formation here.
Be a handoff to
it's going to be sacked in the backfield on about the 26-yard line of the Black Cats.
And that time he lost about 4 on that play.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 14 here for the Black Cats.
And that's just one thing. You got a big play and then you get a negative play, and you just hope that you get more positives than negatives right now. And maybe you can flip the field if nothing else, or get a.
So Mejia's going to come out with a little slot T action here with Holdman and Clark to the top. Snap here. It's going to be handed off to Jones. And
he's just snowed up.
And Jones and Miller ran into each other, so that hurt him from the very beginning.
And that's another one of those timing things we talked about. They collided in the backfield, which doesn't let him get the handoff clean and get out of the backfield. to the line of scrimmage before the defenders are able to get there.
That's one thing Mexia last year with running the spread, they were able to disguise the offensive line sometimes by throwing quick passes, because when you drop 5 and 6 yards deep, man, you got to have the line hold their blocks, and in high school sometimes it's tough for those linemen to do that. So Mexia goes up tight, looked like a fumble right off the bat. Holman gets it in the backfield, and it's going to be tackled for a 1-yard gain. Looks like another punt situation for the Black Cats here. With the wind to their back now, I guess kind of. Well, no, I guess it's going to be
kind of crosswind.
It seemed like earlier when Cameron kicked, it was to their back.
Right. Now it looks like it's blowing from the south, which is from our backs across the field.
So we got Christian Clark coming on late to get in the tight. It's going to be a snap back to Mexia. The better snap here. And they almost get to it, but we do the soccer style, and he kicks it across the field and out on about the 45. I don't think that's the way you draw it up, but it wasn't blocked.
Right. And that's the thing I've noticed. It looks like our deep snaps are hanging in the air a little bit, so we got to work and get those back there a little bit quicker and crisper to the punter and holder, so that they have more time for that kicker to get that ball away.
So Cameron comes out with the ball first play of the second quarter, or first drive of the second quarter. They're going to have 1st and 45. Good starting field position for them, with trips to the top and one to the bottom, with a running back flank to the left of the quarterback. We'll see what Cameron does here. Mexia's defense has been strong tonight. Snap back, he's going to throw it. He's throwing it down deep,
and he gets behind the cornerback.
Gives up a big play there. Christian Clark.
Yeah. He got caught looking in the backfield, and the receiver was able to run past him.
And that was one thing I was told. They have a speedster, and they have another guy that they like throwing to down the field. And
you could see the speed by Clark, because he closed the gap so fast, but he had let him get behind him and catch the ball. You just got to be disciplined with your eyes.
Perfect pass from number 4 for Cameron. They come out with a man to the bottom with a slot man, a man to the right of the quarterback, and 2 up top. Snap back, handoff. No, the quarterback keeps it, and he's just going to weave his way back to about the 14-yard line of the Black Cats. Kind of looked like a broken play, but you see a lot of quarterback sneaks now that look broken that were actually designed.
Yeah, and he was able to just find a little crease there and pick up a couple positive yards before he was brought down.
Mexia's got the backs to the wall right here for the first time, as Cameron's going to come out with twins to the top, running back flanked on each side of the quarterback, and a man down here to the bottom. Snap back is going to be a handoff to number 1, and he sneaks through for about 2 yards.
Yeah, and it looked like the Black Cats had him in the backfield, and he was able to squirt out of there and dive forward. And just a little shifty, a little slippery, and able to get some positive yards on that. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
This is key plays right here. Being the first game of the year, that first quarter, you got a lot of adrenaline. Now here's where conditioning starts working out for your first half here. See if Mexia can't make a wall here and make Cameron either kick a field goal or stop them on downs.
High snap, ball to number 36, and Mexia wraps him up right about the 10-yard line, and they drive him backwards. Going to be at about the 10.5, 11-yard line. So it's going to bring up 4th and about 5, and looks like Cameron's going to send out the field goal unit. So we'll have number 10 holding. Looks like number 32 for Cameron, lining it up, set to kick. Snaps back on the ground, ball's down, kicks up, and kicks good. So Cameron's able to tie the score. Oh, and we have a flag here. So the refs are waving it off. We're going to see the discussion between the officials prior to knowing if the kick is going to be good. Looks like it's going to be a penalty against Mexia. I'm sure it'll be a legal formation against Mexia, which will probably be enough yardage for a first down for Cameron with where the line of scrimmage was. The kick was good. They'll have to determine whether they want to walk it off and possibly get a first down or set the ball or accept the good conversion on the field goal. And looks like they're going to accept the penalty yards for a first down, so Mejia's defense will come back on the field. An illegal formation on the defense. I don't know if I've ever seen an illegal formation call against the defense. So Cameron will bring their offense back out onto the field, and they'll have first and goal from the Mexia 6-yard line.
The one thing they always say is once you put points on, don't never take them off. So maybe the Black Cats can make a stand here and make Cameron wish they would have taken the field goal. What happened was someone lined up over the center on the
snapper,
kick. Or over the snapper, the snapper. Snap back, and he's going to hand off to the running back.
Quarterback keeps it, and he's into.
He fumbles!
And it's out of the back of. They're going to say he crossed before he fumbled.
And right there when he could have handed off to the running back, and he could have gone in, or he was going in. Either one there. So Cameron gets on the board for the first time and makes it 6-3. With an extra point coming. Snap back, kick up, makes it 7-3. Cameron Yoe.
We'll take a quick break here as the teams head to their sidelines and get prepared for the kickoff.
Let me see it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why.
All right, and as we come back here to Black Cat Stadium and Black Cat Field, Cameron just scored a touchdown to take the lead 7-3 over the Black Cats with 6:37 left in the first half. Cameron sets the ball to tee it off to the Black Cats here. We'll have number 32 from Cameron kicking off. And we'll get a little short kick here, and the ball goes out of bounds, so we'll get an illegal procedure penalty against the Yeomen. We'll see if Mexia accepts that penalty, and we'll see where they start the drive from here, if they accept or make them re-kick, as it looks like the coaching staff is talking to the officials now. And they will take the penalty, and Mexia will start their drive from the 30-yard line. So we'll get to see Mejia's offense once again here in the first half. And, they haven't looked very sharp, which was kind of expected with knowing that they were implementing a new offense this year and not having time to really work on that and get it implemented before the start of this season. So we'll see how they do here on their fourth drive of the game, as you'll have Miller under center. He takes the snap, handoff back to Wiley, who's met as soon as he gets the ball in the backfield. And as dynamic as a runner as Wiley is, if you don't get a chance to get the ball and get started, you're not going to have as much of an effect on the game in those plays as you usually do. So now you're looking to make sure you can lock up and be solid up front and get those blocks so that your runners can have a chance to get out of the backfield.
So Mejia's going to huddle up here. And they're not moving quite as fast as what they were earlier. but still tight. Hand off to Jones around the left corner.
Oh,
And he runs over a couple and picks up about 7 yards there.
yeah, and he makes it a much more manageable third down with that run because it'll be about 5 here on this third down.
That's the one thing that right now looks decent for Mexia is when they run outside.
Yes.
They're fast enough to get outside Cameron right now.
Right.
When they're going up the middle, they're getting plugged pretty good.
And I think you have to. It looks like Cameron's really focusing on number 5 and Miller.
Snap back and be a handoff to Jones. He has to pop outside, and that's just they're not getting any push up front right now.
Yeah, right now Cameron's defensive line is playing on the Mexia side of the line of scrimmage, and that spells disaster for any offense. Mejia's going to have to get push up front to change the line of scrimmage so that they can have some success. And right now they're just not getting it. So Mejia's going to run the punt unit out onto the field once again. So Mejia's had 4 possessions. They've had a field goal on the very first possession after an interception, and then they've had 3 straight punts.
So he's going to be, let's see what the snap looks like here. Snap back, better snap. Runs a little bit, and he gets a little more wind on it than I think they really want, but it's going to take a Mexia Black Hat bounce.
Yeah.
Down to about the Cameron Yoe 31, and that's where Cameron's going to start their second drive of the second quarter.
And that ended up being a pretty decent punt there for the Black Hats. After the punt and then the roll, kind of flips the field a little bit for Mexia as they send their defense out again, and the defense is they're going to have to bow their necks as they kind of giving up a little more yardage, and then of course the touchdown on the last possession by Cameron. You have to see if Mexia can come out and stymie the Cameron offense here.
So Cameron lines up with twins to the top, twins to the bottom, and one running backs flank 2, and he takes the
direct snap,
and he's going to get about 4 yards.
And I don't think it was designed as a direct snap, Jeremy. I think it was a bad high snap, and he just jumped and grabbed it out of the air.
They both look a little confused, but hey, they turned a negative into a positive there. Another quick slant there.
And we got a flag in the backfield.
And I think we're going to have holding on the right tackle.
Yeah.
McNeil looked like he was beelining to the quarterback and got jerked straight to the ground.
That time Connor did exactly what you teach a defensive lineman to do, is when the tackle went to try to cut block him, Connor pressed him and got off of him, and when the tackle got beat, he just grabbed Connor and pulled him down.
So that'll be a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage.
Right, and that's what you're going to have from your defensive front. With the 3-man front and the big linemen that Cameron have out there, those 3 men are going to have to dominate and at least take up those 5 linemen so that the linebackers and outside men can fly around and make plays.
So Mexia is back on defense here. Now it's going to be 2nd and 20. What they must have called him for a chop block or.
It was holding.
Well, it's going to be a good run up the middle, but they marked off 15 yards, so it had to have been an illegal block.
Yeah.
That means when he's engaged with one lineman, another one comes in and hits him low, and that's a 15-yard penalty.
And he picks up about 10 back there on that run. Make it 3rd and about 10.
So Cameron comes out and twins to the bottom, twins to the top. Number 36 flanked to the right. Be a snap back.
Drop back in a pass.
And McNeil is right there.
Oh, he throws it deep. Oh,
and he's caught. He had gotten behind Frankie Smith and just some tackling woes in the backfield, and they get all the way down to the Mexia 20.
Well, Frankie stopped his feet and tried to jump after the ball instead of running with the receiver. And the ball carried over the top of Frankie's outstretched arms, and the receiver was able to haul it in and then pick up big yards. And that's, the 2 big plays they've had have been deep passes in those same situations.
So now Cameron comes up with twins to the top, one to the bottom, one in the wing, and a running back flank to the left. And we got a man in motion here coming to the bottom, and quarterback's dropping back, and he's trying to hit 9 down the corner, and he's right there and catches it for a touchdown.
And that time Miller got turned around.
So on 2 back-to-back plays, Cameron's is picking on our secondary. That won't happen too many times with them 2 players. That was just a foul up. They both started last year in the secondary and were real good. We just had some.
You just have to stay disciplined in those situations. You've seen them run at you. You can't fall asleep.
And Trey Holman is in there, but he a little bit late. And he's going to be a made extra point. That's going to put Cameron up 14-3 with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. The Black Cats down 14-3. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back with Black Cat Football 2020. Is Wi-Fi on my phone? If Wi-Fi's on my phone.
All right, and we're back as Cameron kicks off short this time. Oh, and it's off of a Mexia player and on the ground.
It looks like Mexia got it back.
Yeah, it looks like Mexia was able to recover it after about the 3rd carom.
It looked like it went off Connor McNeil, and it hit a Cameron Yoe, popped out, and Connor was able to jump back on it. So Mejia's going to start this drive on their own 37-yard line.
As bad as that play looked, Mexia actually is going to start with pretty decent field position here. We're just going to see if Mexia can get something going.
Well, on that, Connor, I love Connor to death, but usually you have your wide receiver types right there, your running back types, and of course he is a running back.
Yeah, he tried to catch it over with his hands up instead of cradling it on the kickoff, and it came down and hit and shot forward. And we're going to get a timeout here, an official's timeout.
I think we're having clock issues.
Oh, okay.
Because I know that play was more than 5 seconds because it was 2:59 on kickoff.
Well, it doesn't start until it touches somebody.
Well, I guess so. So, not for sure what the problem was.
Is it the play clock? Oh, the play clocks went out.
Oh, so if it's out on one end, you got to take it off on
another.
another.
And now it looks like they got them back on.
So Mexia comes back up in the tight formation.
It looks like offside. Oh.
Lamari Miller runs through one, and he's just going to be tackled at about the line of scrimmage. Yeah. We're just not getting any push.
No, there's no push up front, and they're just playing sideways from the line of scrimmage or back. And so the backs aren't able to get going downhill because they're trying to get away from the defenders as soon as they're getting it. Mexia's really going to have to hunker down and get some push up front so that the backs can get going downhill.
Well, they make a couple of changes up front, it looks like. Escobedo's in there at
oh, we're going to have a pass here. Oh, and that's a great grab.
And he drops the ball. They're going to call it incomplete.
It should have been a pass interference. And Jabron went up over the defender still and made a grab, but then he dropped it as he came and turned to try to run.
That's the thing that we're going to have to do is have some plays downfield to loosen up the line, because right now they know they're going to run right at us. So that's all we're going to do is run, and the defense is expecting it.
Right, and that play looked like it was going to have a lot of success if Busby could have held on to that ball. I mean, that's something you see that you may be able to take advantage of with them sucked up trying to stop the run so hard. you can get some of those guys.
Another
back.
fumble.
Oh, and he's looking downfield. Oh, and he has to scramble, so he can't.
And he had Trey.
He had two receivers open downfield, but he was scrambling away and didn't have a chance to get the ball down the field. And here we're going to get a timeout by Cameron. They're trying to save some time for them to get the ball back, with it being fourth down now for the Black Hats. So we'll take a quick break as they do, and we'll be back with more action in here in the first half.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
So as we're back at Black Cat Field on opening night, Mejia's getting ready to punt the ball here. Snap back, high snap. They're coming after him, and he does the low kick. This is the kick that they have been wanting, and it's going to roll down inside the 25 to the 25-yard line of the Cameron Yoe. That's the kick they've been wanting.
Yeah, and that's what you usually get from a soccer-style kicker, something low, hard, and driven that hits the ground and takes big bounces and rolls a while.
A few years ago, I was watching the game. It was Mart it was in the playoffs, and they kicked that ball just like that, and 3 times in a row it hit the back of a Mart player, and they were able to recover it. And that's what they were using, that kick, to try to get extra, get the ball back extra times. Cameron comes out and twins to the top, one to the bottom with a wing on the left and a running back flank to the right, and it's going to be a handoff to the running back.
Oh,
and he breaks loose, and he's down about the 34-yard line. That's going to be a good 8-yard gain on first down there. We got 1:34 left. And you know Cameron, they're not wanting to leave any time on the clock for Mejia to have a chance.
I think you'll see them run it a few times, and if they don't get big chunks, they'll try to go to the air to try to put points on the board before the end of the half.
Cameron comes out with twins to the right, twins to the bottom, 36 flank to the left. This is going to be a drop back pass deep. And he's going to hit one across the middle, and he's going to walk in for another Cameron Yoe touchdown.
And again, number 1 beat Christian Clark down the field. And it was just an easy pitch and catch, and then he ran into the end zone.
And that's going to put Cameron up 20-3 right now. And Cameron's coming on for the extra point to make it a 21-3 lead. Cameron.
You know, and right now Cameron's seen something that they can exploit and take advantage of in the Mejia defense. And they've been successful with it the last 3 drives. And Mejia's going to have to make an adjustment to it.
So Cameron comes up, snap back, kick up, and it's going to be a 21-3 lead Cameron. It didn't take long for that one to happen, Wallace.
No, not at all. And right here, you're going to have to get over and you're going to have to figure it out on the Mejia side. You can get a big play here before half and put some points on the board yourself. That would be big.
You got to score right here.
Yeah.
That's you got your heads down. They're like, man, we're not used to this. If they could get a big return here or just one big play on offense, it could turn the game around.
And that's what you're going to need, because with the offense you're running now, it's a run clock management type offense, so you don't want to get behind like this. But you have the potential to make big plays, and you can shorten this gap before halftime, and you come out after half with a whole nother ball game, because Mejia will get the kickoff. Mejia gets the opening kickoff of the second half. So if you can put points on here, you can backdoor it and get more points to begin the second half, and you're right back in the game.
So Cameron's lining up to kick here from right to left. Mejia's returning from left to right. The kick is up,
It's
and
gonna
it
be a
looks
deep-
like Trey Jones makes a heck of a catch on the sideline, and he's up the field, and he's going to go about the 29-yard line. Mejia's got 59 seconds left to work here, Wallace.
Yeah, and right here, I mean, you haven't been real solid or shown very much in your offense so far this half. This would be a great time for you to kind of figure it out and get something clicking and just give one of those backs a gap, because we know if one of them gets a gap, they can take it to the house in a hurry.
Just one little crack. And
right now they hadn't been able to get that movement up front that they're needing.
It's not going to take too many. If they can just get a little crack and get out in front, not too many can catch our running backs from behind. So we're going to have Wiley in the backfield with Trey Jones, and it's going to be a handoff to Wiley up the middle, and there's just no push. He's tackled at the 30.
They're wrapped around him as soon as he gets the ball. He's not had a chance to really get anything going.
It looks like they're in that huddle with Mejia, knowing exactly where they're going every play.
Well, when you're running this type of offense, you basically do know where everybody's going. You just got to figure out which one of them has the ball going there. You know, and if everybody's doing their jobs and carrying out their assignments on offense, then it makes it tough to defend. But if just one person falls off or doesn't pick up that block that they need, then it can destroy that movement. And here Miller keeps it around the edge,
and they trying to pull his jersey off. He's going to pick up about 4.
And we're going to get a timeout here.
They're going to call it out of bounds, or are we getting a timeout here?
We're going to get a timeout. Mejia,
we got
like
10 seconds left. And that's another thing with this offense. You know, with the spread, you're moving the ball. A lot of plays happen. With this type of offense, you don't have as many plays in a game.
Right. You run a lot, so it keeps the play clock moving. Oh, and it looks like Mejia's just going to let the first half clock run out.
Well, we're going to let the band come on, and we're going to give y'all a little music for halftime. We're going to go into the half with Cameron Yoe leading the Mejia Black Cats 21-3. Back to
Today's game brought to you by Eagle Auto Parts, located on Main Street. For more information, visit eagleauto.com.
Neighbors and friends, hi. My name is Freddie Greer Sr., and I'm a candidate for Limestone County, Mejia, Texas City Council District 2. For over 20 years, I have volunteered my time, energy, and leadership to serve my community. I'm a proud father and a concerned citizen. I'm approachable, available, and I want to serve as your next City Council member for District 2, and I approve this message.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
Hi, my name is Rick Kennedy, and I'm running for United States Congress here in the 17th District in Central Texas. Healthcare is far and away the most important issue to the people of Central Texas. And while our healthcare system is incredibly complex, what people want from healthcare is really quite simple. They want access to quality healthcare, and they don't want to go broke or bankrupt trying to pay for it. That's why I support the Medicare for America Act. Medicare for America will provide access to quality healthcare for all Americans. It will provide protection for bankruptcy due to healthcare costs. It will help us rein in the cost of prescription drugs by allowing the government to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies, and unlike other proposals, will not outlaw private health insurance.
SHN Live is an online audio and visual production company based out of Austin, Texas that specializes in broadcasting live events. Hi, I'm Carl Schoening, Director of Broadcasting and co-founder of SHN Live. When my business partner Rob Hipp and I started SHN Sports in 2015, we made our slogan, Your team, your broadcast. Because we envision bringing live broadcasting to undercovered sporting events as affordable as possible to schools and organizations. We started out with Georgetown ISD high schools, and in 5 years have expanded to 6 states with over 30 affiliates, while also doing production for NCAA teams, conference tournaments, and even the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. In 2020, we rebranded to SHN Live as we provide resources and training for more than just sports. SHN Live is for anyone interested in any kind of online media production. We make broadcasting on our platform free, and we teach our affiliates how to most cost-effectively start broadcasting. If you have a computer, we can teach you the basics of live streaming today. If you become an affiliate, you can put on live streams that look and sound professional once you have collected all of our recommended equipment. And by being an SHN affiliate, we will provide sales support, audio and visual elements to improve your broadcast, such as static and motion graphics, access to our Facebook SHN Live affiliates page, and on-demand troubleshooting and tutorial videos. You can also contact Rob or myself for help, and we'll get back to you free of charge. Rebranding in 2020, SHN Live started because of one question. Why pay third-party companies hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year for live streaming when you can own your own equipment and put on a professional quality live stream at any time yourself? With SHN's platform, you can control everything from who is on your broadcast.
listening to Mexia Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Greer Time Media, Posey Napa Auto Part, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Mookie's Mesquite Patch Barbecue, Woodman Life Insurance, and Joe Fridays.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
You're listening to Mexia Sports Network.
As we're back at Black Cat Stadium, sorry the wind is so bad, listeners. Mejia's down 21-3. Both bands just got off. We have some stats here at halftime. Mexia has 1 first down and 31 yards. Cameron had 199 yards through the air and
57 rush yards.
And as the score shows, Mejia's been pretty much dominated by Cameron since about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Mexia come out the first quarter, was up 3-0, and Cameron went to the air and found some holes, and they just pretty much stayed in the air for the rest of the half. And
and it hasn't been like Cameron's just been able to move the ball at will against Mexia. It's just that they found 3, maybe 4 plays where they've gone through the air and they've gotten huge plays for touchdowns or taking it right down inside the 5-yard line of Mexia, and then we're able to get it in. And so it's not as though Mexia is just giving everything up to Cameron. They've just had a few little mistakes or a few little lapses in concentration or focus or discipline that have yielded huge plays for Cameron, and that's how they've been able to jump out to this lead.
And being the first game for them where Cameron got to play last week makes a little bit of difference as well.
Right. And what you're hoping Mejia's in there doing it now is at halftime, they're talking to each other, they're keeping each other's spirits and heads up, and then they're making some adjustments here to come out in the second half. Just little adjustments here and there could change this game real quick here for Mexia. With the ability of the players that Mexia has, we've already seen that they can have sudden change of possessions with the interception we saw to begin the game by Holman, and that can be those can be big momentum plays for Mexia. And if they can get the offense clicking and get some big plays offensively, then this game could shift and change quick.
Well, Cameron's come back out on the field, and they are warming up down here in the west end zone. Mejia's yet to touch the field. The biggest thing is Mejia's going to have to find some cohesiveness no matter what with their offensive line back to their backfield, because none of the running backs or Lamarian are having any time to do anything. By the time they drew one fake and they're handing off to another fake, the defensive line or the linebackers are right there to tackle them. So whatever we got to do to go back to the drawing board, either way, we've got to start blocking up front.
Right. And that's where the change in the game has to start. Is your offensive line has to figure out a way to really bear down and start changing the line of scrimmage positively for your offense, and getting a push up front, create some holes for your runners to get through. Because right now they're playing in the Mexia backfield with Cameron's defensive players, and the Mexia runners are having to navigate themselves around defenders as soon as they get the ball, which doesn't allow them to get downhill and really hit those holes the way they need to.
Well, Mejia's come out of the locker room and coming across the track there, and the one thing is Cameron is a 3A Division I now. Is that correct? Or are they 4A?
No, they're 3A D1.
And they have just as many players on the field, if not more, than Mexia.
Right. And that's one thing we've talked about before with Mexia and being 4A. Mexia is one of the smaller 4As, and some of the 3A schools that they're playing are some of the larger 3As. And Mejia's enrollment is actually closer to the 3A schools that they're playing than the 4A schools they're in the district with. So we'll see that a lot this year. Of some of the schools we see Mexia playing in the preseason or non-district will be closer to the size of Mejia's team than the teams that they'll see in district, which will probably have a larger amount of players on their sidelines and on their teams than Mexia does.
Yeah, Mexia looks like a bunch of basketball players out there with a couple of big guys sprinkled in. Mexia is very tall and and lean.
Yeah, and you'll see as they get ready to start stretching and warming themselves back up for the second half, with about 2.5 minutes left before kickoff. You're gonna have to see some of that speed and athleticism that Mexia has out there on their team kind of take over in this second half. You're trying to play power football, and you're not bigger than the teams that you're trying to power over. So you either have to find that grit to be able to just say, I don't care how big you are across from me, I'm going to bear down and I'm going to whoop you if you're the man in front of me.
All about heart.
Right. And then you're going to have those speedsters to be able to get around and make plays with their legs like you're accustomed to. Because now with the offense you're seeing from Mexia, they're all bunched because it's a tight set. So everything's in tight. You're not getting the spread out, the gaps that are naturally caused when you're spread out.
And there's no question what's coming. It's going to be a run, a quick pass. But Cameron just come back on the field. The one thing Mexia does have looking forward to is they do get the ball to start the second half.
Right. And so right here, Mexia needs to get something going right off the bat here if you can in this second half, and kind of try to reestablish the tone for the rest of the game. Because even though we're talking and it's a 21-3 game, that 18 points, it's a three possession game, and that can turn real quick. One big play turns it into a 2-possession game.
And as much as they throw it, that's chances every time to come up with a pick.
Right, and that's what you're hoping. Mexia during the halftime, they talked about being locked in and focused, especially in that defensive backfield and on those corners, because that's the only way that Cameron's actually been able to hurt Mexia so far tonight is through the air. They haven't really ripped off any just huge runs. It's just being able to get behind the defensive back and catch a ball and get down the field.
Freddie, you think next time when you buy some stools you can get some with cushion instead of my feet hurting, my tail's hurting? See what we can do.
So it looks like we still have about 20 seconds. Mexia's about to take the field here.
Oh, we had one fall off, but he turned it into a little somersault and make it look pretty good. As Mexia runs onto the field, and there looks like there's a little excitement over there, and maybe we can have a big play to jump out right here and get a little momentum put on our side.
Here, and like we said at the beginning, Cameron will be kicking off to Mexia, so Mexia will get a chance right off the bat in the second half to try to get their offense or try to get some type of big play even in the kicking game to try to put points on the board here and close this gap. And here we go with the kick from number 36. He puts it in the air deep, and it'll be Trey Holman who fields it. He brings it ahead, and he catches a seam, and he's still running. Oh, and he's wrapped up, and he's pushed forward and down about the 37-yard line.
And it's going to be good field position for the Black Cats to start the second half, as they're going to be on their own 37.
Right. And Mexia's had some good field position here throughout the first half, and right now we're going to see if they're able to take advantage of it and get something going offensively. As Cameron's defense is already out waiting, and here comes Mexia's offense, as Miller will be under center again.
Got Wiley in the backfield. We got a little slot T action here with two up top. And it's a handoff to Wiley.
And he pulls his way forward for about 5 yards. And they're going to give him 4 on the carry up to the 40-yard line.
So Mexia spreads it out a little bit on that one, and it helped them out some. They had two twins to the top, and they had 2 wings. And now they're going to come out with Trey Holman's going to be on the bottom, and that looks like Coleman on top with 2 running backs. And it's going to be a handoff to Jones.
Oh, and he bangs into the back of one of his own players.
But there was it on that where that was good was he hit him about 2 yards downfield,
right.
so we got some push going on up front.
Right, and you're right. That time you saw the offensive line actually push and get some movement, so he was able to get through that line.
So we got Clark to the top and Holman to the bottom here. So we're spreading out a little bit. And we're going to hand off to Wiley, and he breaks a tackle.
And he's pushing forward. That's going to be a first down for Mexia.
And that was all Wiley wanting a first down.
Because he got through the line of scrimmage, but then he got hit soon as he got through it, and he just pulled for another 4 yards.
So Clark runs the play in here. And we're going to have spread out here. Clark's coming to the bottom. We're back in the tight formation with Holman up top and the wing. He's coming in motion, and he's going to hand off to Holman.
It's a little pitch back.
He breaks a tackle, and he's got about a 6-yard gain here. So Mexia is getting a little push up front now.
And that time we got a little pitch back and to let Holman get moving out there, and he was able to get it and get around and get downhill. And we've seen, like you said, we've seen several positive plays here on this drive from Mexia.
So Mexia goes back tight here. And it's going to be a to Wiley, and he's hitting the backfield. I think that's the problem we have is every time we go tight, it puts everybody in there knowing exactly what you're doing. When we spread out, everybody spreads out on defense, so you're able to find a couple of more holes there. So we got Smith running the play back in here. So we're going to spread Smith out, and Jarrell Wiley's going to go out. And you got DeAndre Sandals in. It's going to be a handoff to Trey And underneath.
And that's a late hit by number 35. He came in after Trey's on the ground and put his helmet right in Trey's face mask. And, it seemed like a promising drive for Mexia.
We went away from what was working.
And then stalled, and now we got the punting unit back out on the field.
We had spread them out and was getting 3 or 4 yards of carry, and then we went back tight, and it got us in trouble again. So now Mexia's going to line up in their soccer-style kick here, rugby kick. And it's a high snap. That's going to be a trouble, but they weren't rushing, so Mexia got away with it.
The ball travels out of bounds at about the 28-yard line.
That snap, if they would have been rushing, that snap would have been a trouble. But
yeah, it got in the air and it just hung. And Davola's not the biggest of guys back there punting, so he has to wait for that ball to come down out of the air for him to get it.
So Cameron's bringing their offense back on the field. Cameron's got twins to the top, a back flanked on each side, and a man to the bottom. Snap. It's going to be a handoff. No, he pulls it, and the quarterback's up the field for about a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, and that's one of the bigger runs we've seen from the night. And the misdirection just got the Black Hats on that play, and he was able to exploit that and hit a hole before he was brought down.
So now we have twins to the top and twins to the bottom. A man flanked on the side, on the left side. He's going to hand off to
it's
going to be a
reverse
reverse to number 2. And he's running around left end. He's just going to run out of bounds, about a 5-yard gain.
And that was a good job by Holman and Jones of staying at home and coming up. And then I believe that's Frankie Smith not letting him get around those two guys and ushering him on out of bounds.
Well, Cameron's on the drive once again. They got twins to the bottom. They do have a tight end in the game. One up top, one man flanked to the left of the quarterback. He's going to hand off to number 5, and he's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage and thrown forward for a couple of yards. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Cameron Yoe. And, early in the first half, they had 4th and 10 and went for it. So, this is going to be 2-down territory for them.
Right. And they feel like they're controlling the game right now. Snap back, high snap.
Oh, he's stuck.
Good tackle by Wiley there.
At the line of scrimmage. So that's going to give Cameron a 4th down, and now they got a decision to make.
4th and a long 2. Let's see if they go for it. They're leaving the offense out there.
There wasn't no doubt after I seen them do it in the second quarter they were going to do it here. Now he might step back and do the little pooch kick as well.
But you also got to make sure you watch these receivers because they've seen that they've been able to. They've seen that they've been able to beat them deep here throughout the night.
And see, so the referee stopped the play here because the offense substituted, so the defense had to have the chance.
And that's what he'll do is he'll get the little pooch kick off, and that's a high. He gets a nice kick on his pooch kick.
For a quarterback, he got quite a leg on him there.
And he'll down it at the 6. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the actual punter with some of those kicks that he's putting out there. So Mejia's offense will take over deep in their own territory. So they'll start at their own 6-yard line here.
This is scary when you're down and you're having a tough time moving the ball. You don't want any mistake to happen right here and that score jump on you, go to 28 or 24-6. So you got to make sure nothing happens right here with the backs against the wall. Got to make sure the snap is good, the handoffs are good. And Lamar breaks out to the left.
And he's pushing. He's still churning his legs.
Pick up about 7 or 8 yards.
And that's a good run as he just shows how strong he is. It looked like he might have
fumbled that again, or it might have been the way the play was, but it looked like he was looking down, and then all of a sudden he took off running off the guard.
We're going to have an official's timeout as a Cameron player is down on the field.
We're going to go to a sponsor timeout, and we'll be right back with Black Cat Football 2020.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
Neighbors and friends, hi. My name is Freddie Greer Sr., and I'm a candidate for Limestone County, Mexia, Texas City Council District 2. For over 20 years, I have volunteered my time, energy, and leadership to serve my community. I'm a proud father and a concerned citizen. I'm approachable, available, and I want to serve as your next City Council member for District 2, and I approve this message.
All right.
We had a cramp for number 34 for Cameron. Mejia's going to come up with a 2nd and 4. That was a good play for the first play, Wallace.
You're staying up in front of the chains right here. We'll see if they'll be able to move it on out a little farther.
And it looked like Mexia was.
It's a handoff, and Wiley almost gets loose that time.
Going to be enough for a Black Cat first down.
He pops out to about the 17-yard line on that run, picks up about 6.
Well, the one thing I do know, Wallace, the games are going to be fairly short this year.
Right.
Last year we threw the ball, and this year it's just going to be run.
You know, one thing we've seen in the first drive and now in this drive is it seems like Mejia's starting to figure out a little bit of how to get the ball moving. Oh, and Trey Jones
is breaking out across the 30.
Oh,
he's a 35, 40, 45, 50.
It's a face mask.
We got a flag down here, though, and I'm afraid not everybody was set. And that's going to be about a 60-yard penalty that's going to hurt us. It's going to count as a 5-yard penalty, but it's going to cost us about 60 yards. see what the Zebras decide here.
Oh, and I think there's a Cameron player over on the Mexia sideline down. And I still haven't seen him say, maybe it just fell out of his pocket when he was running.
No, it was offsides Cameron.
Cameron.
That's going to be a big play. That's the play the Black Cats needed to get a little confidence rolling.
And so Mexia declined that, and they'll take the result of that play, which puts them down inside Cameron territory
for the first time.
Since the
opening drive,
the interception. Yes.
We're going to go to a commercial break while we have a player injury. We'll have the player's condition when he comes back. Thank you for listening to Black Cat Football 2020. As we're back at Black Cat Field, Wallace, I'll let you talk about.
Yeah, as we're looking, it looks like number 8 from Cameron had an injury over on the Mexia sideline down around the previous line of scrimmage, and he's being carried off the field. We want to send our best wishes to that young man. As Mexia takes a snap, Miller keeps it. Oh, and he's running up, and he dives forward for a gain of about 7 there on that play.
Man, we're sitting down here talking about the player, looking at him, and Mexia said, we're snapping this
right.
ball.
You know, you never want to see a kid, whether it's from your team or the other team, get injured. So we're going to hope that he's able to come back from that. As Mexia gets ready to line up for their next play, it'll bring up a 2nd and about 4 here, as they marked it at about the 26-yard line or 36-yard line.
So Mejia's back into the tight, and they turn around and hand it to Jones. No, it's a fake.
It's a pass deep down to Holman. Oh, he makes the grab,
and it's going to be in for a touchdown, Black Cats.
And that time, I think Miller fooled us all, as we saw Wiley and Jones hit the hole hard, and Miller just pulled back and slung it down a nice, beautiful ball deep. And even though the wind seemed to catch it up at the end, Holman was able to go up high and bring it down.
Well, as you could tell, the defense was totally caught off guard. They were not expecting a pass there. Mexia had been running, and Mexia caught them off guard with a deep pass, and that's what you got to do to loosen up that defensive line.
And it looks like we're going for 2 here. Miller under center.
It's going to be a
snap back. Miller keeps it. Oh, and he hurdles a guy, and then he's tackled.
So Mejia's going to be denied on the 2-point conversion, but yet they get on the scoreboard with a touchdown.
Oh, but Miller's still down on the ground, and now he's getting up. And he's trotting off to the sideline.
So with 4:41 left here in the third quarter, Mexia put some momentum on their side, and let's see if we can't catch a break and maybe get a fumble or something right here with the special teams or defense, and another score puts you right back in the ball game, Wallace.
Right. You know, I know we went for 2 there because you're trying to cut it to a 10-point game, but I think maybe you should have considered just kicking a field goal, the extra point, and cutting it to 11. That's still a 2-possession game. Either way you look at it, and you keep your momentum rolling with a successful conversion. But either way it goes, now Mexia puts points on the board that drive. They'll kick off this time to Cameron, and they'll try to get something going here and see if the defense can get a stop and get the offense the ball back.
We back with the uno, dos kicking situation.
Yeah,
we got 2, and you don't know if they're kicking from the left side or they're kicking from the right.
You know, and they stand about the same distance from the ball as the other one does. Oh, and the ball blows off the tee as the official runs away from it. And I think the kickers get their call from the sideline as to what they're going to do on each kickoff.
So Mexia stretches out. They got 4 on one side, 5 on the other, and 2 kickers. Now that's what you call an odd lineup. But hey, if it works, it works. Guess we got to keep them on their toes, even on kickoff. Now we got whistle blowing.
Not sure. I'm not sure what the whistle is for.
They're going to call a delay a game on Mexia.
Oh. So Mexia will take a 5-yard penalty here, and he picks up the ball and left the tee, and the kickers were moving back.
We're all here on our first night.
Yeah. So now you'll get both kickers marching it off from where the ball is set.
If you're just out there listening, this is the funniest thing you've ever seen. Your left-footed kicker, he takes his steps. Then your right-footed kicker walks up there, and he's taking his steps. And it's something you've never seen on a football field.
And then they look at the sideline to see who's going to kick the ball.
And then they look at each other trying to figure out who's going to kick it. Oh, we got a fake, and it's going to be an onside kick, but it's not going to go 10 yards.
It doesn't travel 10 yards. So that's going to be a penalty against Mexia.
And that was a confusion. And, you know, the thing is, at that time, you got a little momentum, so you might as well try.
Right.
But your defense has been playing pretty well all night long, except for a couple of breakdowns. So,
you know, after the penalty, I think you use your big leg and just let him drive it down deep down and try to stop them down and hold them deep in their own territory. But Mexia tried the onside. It wasn't successful, so now Cameron will take over after the march off from the penalty yardage.
Well, we're struggling here.
They'll take over at the 32-yard line.
1, 2, 3, 4s, and 5s from the Zebras. They getting mixed up on their marking, but Cameron's out with a man up top, and they have a tight end on the right side with twins down here to the bottom, and 36 lined up to the right side of the quarterback. He's going to hand off to it's a quick throw.
Oh
my! It was a light up by number 2.
And Trey Holman just dislodged that ball.
The thing is,
I think Will Coleman was coming to light him up also, or else he would have got the carom and intercepted
at the ball,
it.
That was a touchdown the other way because they weren't going to catch him around the right side. But you know, I was just fixing to say, with Cameron up 21-9. You would think that they would want to salt the game away and pick up 5 or 6 at a time, but they say, no, we're going to throw the ball. That's what we're going to do.
I think they realize that that's where their successes come from.
Drop back. Number 4 is going to throw it deep downfield. Number 1 is going to run right. Nope. And that's the one thing that's hurt Mexia tonight is that left cornerback has let that number 1 run by him all night long. And he just wasn't able to drop in the breadbasket that time.
Yeah, he didn't have enough air on that one, and it just went on past him. But number 1 has been able to get past the defensive backs just about whenever he wanted to tonight.
And that's the speedster that they talked about. He's got a set of wheels on him, that's for sure.
And a high snap, handoff.
And 36 is running, and he fumbles the ball in Mexia. Were they able to come? 17 had a chance to follow, and he was trying to pick it up and make a play.
Instead of picking it up, instead of diving on it, we were trying to pick it up, and Cameron was able to get back on it.
They're going to call it 4th down and about a yard to go here, maybe 6 inches. So we got 4 minutes and 15 seconds left here. with Cameron putting the big boys in right now. They're bringing the hosses in.
Yeah, they're going to try to go and get this first down.
And they're just
but
telling
you have to be disciplined because you know they may try to throw it over the top on you.
Yeah, and the quarterback does not have a problem pulling it out and running for it. So.
And Mexia still with their three-man front.
Cameron has a big front with a man on each side, and they're going to call timeout here because if not, they were fisting to run out of time.
Right, they ran a man on late, so they were going to have to hold it and wait. And they was going to cause the play clock to run down.
And that's something, you know, Cameron wants right here is they want to answer that score to say, you know what, we're here to put this game away. Mexia wants to stop it to say, hey, guys, we're back in this game.
Right, and, you know, that's just kind of how the ball's bounced from Mexia so far this game because that time you had a big hit by Holman and then an incomplete pass, and then you caused the fumble by the running back, but unfortunately the ball rolled about 6 yards forward to put them in the position they're in, and then Mexia didn't cover the fumble.
And you know when they
Cameron got it back. So
film
now,
in the morning, that coach is going to jump up and down. Fall on the ball.
Right. And so here Mexia's defense is coming back out. We'll see what Cameron comes out in offense. You have to know they're going to try to move it up front. You would think. I don't know if they're going to go. No, they're still going to stay with their three-man front.
They got
moving some backers up.
They got a wing and a left tight end with 36 flanked to the left, and it's going to be a snapback. And they're trying.
There's a lot of movement up front.
And it's a handoff, and it's an easy first down for the Cameron Yoe.
He picks up about 2 yards on that run.
And 58 is down.
Yeah, it looks like we have a Mexia player down.
That would be John Luna for Mexia, and they surely don't need to lose him. It looked like a couple fell on him, but we're going to take a commercial break while they tend to the injury, and we'll be right back with some Black Cat football 2020.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-74.
As we're back at Black Cat Field, Luna walked off on his own power. It looked like more like cramps than it was an injury. So Cameron's got the ball back on the Mexia Black Cat 21 with twins to the top, one at the bottom, and quarterback drops back to throw it.
Oh, the ball's loose.
Out.
Oh, and Mexia picks it up.
And who is that? That is Connor McNeil.
Yeah.
Makes the big play for the Black Cats. And exactly what we talked about.
And that's what Mexia needed right there was a big play and to get the ball back. Sudden change of possession, a big momentum shift there for the Black Cats, and we're going to see if Mexia offense can come back out and get something going again, as they were able to get into the end zone on their last possession.
And see, this is one thing Coach Abram talked to us the other night about. He said conditioning was very important to him, outworking his team, and they've got the fumble here. If they're able to drive down the field, maybe Cameron's getting a little bit tired now.
Right.
And Mexia's just run. And that's one thing I will say. I've watched them. They have run these boys a lot this year during the last 2 weeks. So maybe Mexia's stamina might be able to take over right here. So Mexia comes back with the tight wing tee here. He's going to hand off to Wiley. And he breaks out the right side, and he gets a gain of about 6.
Yeah, and that's a good run there for Wiley, and he's one arm away from breaking one right now. And as you were just talking about, as those defenders get tired and they keep churning and running at him, you know he's going to be able to get loose and take one the distance if he gets the chance.
And knowing him since he was little, he's chomping at the bit to get a little bit bigger crack. That way he can take one to the distance. So Lamarian comes in and a handoff to Wiley, and he's
still
just pushing forward, and he's going to gain about 3 yards and bring up a 3rd and 2. And once again, there's not much push there.
Right,
Or was that Trey Jones? Or Trey Holman?
I think that may have been Holman on that one.
It looked like Holman got up with that. The thing is we got 3 running backs. Holman, Jones, and Wiley all come up out of the same pile, but I believe that was Holman that started out with that carry. So they run back to the line of scrimmage. Lamarian drops, and he's running around the right end and see if he can make something out of nothing.
Oh, and they're going to call a holding there.
And
on the right tackle as he was trying to keep the defender off of the quarterback.
And so that'll be coming back. And that's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, and that one hurts you there in this situation.
So that'll put you back at 4th and 13 now, and that's the one thing that you hate to see with this offense Mejia's running, and getting behind the chains hurts you with a running style offense. So now we have 3rd and 13 for Mexia. Let's see if we can't dial up another long pass maybe to somebody and get a first down here. So Mexia runs to the line.
Center's down already.
I wonder what we got. We're just running to the line real fast. Got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and we're going to have to call a timeout. For some reason, the center come out and got on the ball, and the rest of the huddle just.
The center comes out when the receiver brings the play in, and then the quarterback gives it to the rest of the team. Is what it's looking like. One of the little older formation that you don't see a whole lot of anymore.
And that's not.
But that time it took too long to get the play in.
That's not what you need when you're trying to come back.
Right.
Is have to waste a timeout on a play that you shouldn't have had to.
So right here we're going to see what Mexia can draw up and get together over there in their huddle as they'll come out after this timeout and after this message with a 3rd down play.
While we got a little break here, we want to thank our sponsors. We got Mike Terry Chevrolet, Woodman Life, Greer & Greer Mobile Detail, Greer & Greer Media Time, Joe Fridays. Subway is gotten in with us this year, and we're looking for more sponsors that's able to bring these games to you. And the difference this year is we're getting to stream it live. So your name's going to be across next week if I can get you early in. Mejia's back to the line of scrimmage, and it's
and Miller hit early as
there was no chance there as
that
the
time.
line.
Yeah, that time they brought a man off the edge, and the lineman couldn't get out to him to block him. And
it looked like he was trying to do a bootleg so he could hit somebody deep, but the defensive line was in his face before he could ever get turned around.
So Mexia will bring their punt unit out once again. It'll be
bad
short snap. Oh,
and I'm not
think
for
that
sure
ball
they got
was-
a piece of it, but
it looks like he may have, or he shortened it up to keep it from, and it wasn't as good of a kick as he's gotten all night.
They affected it. But once again, a bad snap didn't give him much of a chance. And that's David Davila, but that's not his fault. Before he catches the ball, he had 4 people on him, and I think that's what Cameron seen was, hey, you know what? We've had a couple of bad snaps. We weren't rushing. Let's rush this time, and they did rush, and were successful. They either affected it or barely tipped it. So Cameron's going to come out with twins to the top.
Short field.
Man to the bottom, and an awesome field position at Mejia's 39 with number 5 flanked to the left of number 4. And he's going to snap back.
false start on the offense.
I think we're going to have a timeout.
Oh, they called timeout. Oh, Mexia called the timeout.
So Mexia wastes a timeout on a defense now. So we've used 2 timeouts in the last 20 seconds. With a minute left in the third quarter, Mejia's down to 1 timeout.
Yeah, and you're trying to come back in the game still down 2 possessions. You don't want to use your timeouts when you don't need to. I don't know. I'm not sure what the issue was there.
It looked like to me that Cameron was confused in
Right.
their backfield, and
Right.
Mexia just gave him a gift with a timeout
Right,
when
because-
Cameron was confused.
Because they had a lineman that jumped the gun and seemed like it would have been a false start, but Mexia called the timeout, and so they didn't get the penalty.
Well, the coach has seen something they didn't like, and that's the one thing as a coach is you cannot give up any more points right here.
Right.
So now Cameron comes back, twins to the top. They got a wing on the right. Man, hand off to number 5 in the backfield. He comes back.
Oh, and he gets out of a tackle and then slides to the ground.
And he was one quick step away from taking that one to the house. So Cameron's going to pick up 4 on that and bring it back to a 2nd and 6 at the Mexia 35. Mejia's got to bow their necks here, Wallace.
Yeah, you like you were just saying, you can't give up any more points. You need a big play. If you can get a tackle for a loss and have a negative play for Cameron, that would be big here.
Back up with twins to the top, pretty much same formation, and
It's going to be a
straight quarterback run. And
a little quarterback power that time, and he picks up a first down.
And Wallace, with the defense that Mejia's running, those big guys have got to take up some room so their linebackers can get to those.
And that's one of the things, running a 3-man front, me being one of those big guys that played up there, you kind of learn some things. And if you don't have real big guys up front and real dominant guys that take up blockers and can dominate, whether it's no matter how many men are up in front of them or taking them on, it's hard because with only three men up front, they have 5 blockers, and they can double team a couple people.
And they have to be what they call them space eaters. Is that correct? Space
yeah, that's
eaters
exactly
on
what
that
it is.
defensive line.
You have to be able to take up those 2 or 3 linemen and still hold that line of scrimmage. You can't have the double teams that wash you out, because then that creates holes. So we'll take a quick break here as the end of the third quarter has come, and we get ready to begin the fourth quarter. We'll be back with fourth quarter action from Black Cat Field here in Mexia, Texas.
Greer Time Media, Posey Napa Auto Part, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Mookie's Mesquite Patch Barbecue, Woodman Life Insurance, and Joe Fridays.
Neighbors and friends, hi. My name is Freddie Greer Sr., and I'm a candidate for Limestone County, Mexia, Texas City Council District 2. For over 20 years, I have volunteered my time, energy, and leadership to serve my community. I'm a proud father and a concerned citizen. I'm approachable, available, and I want to serve as your next City Council member for District 2, and I approve this message.
All right, and we're back here at Black Cat Field. As Cameron comes to the line, a high snap. He throws out to the side to number 12. Oh, nice little side step. Oh, and he snatched down.
And
no,
they're going to call
they're
a
going
face
to call a
mask
face
on
mask,
Coleman.
but he didn't grab his face mask. He grabbed the front of his pads and just snatched him back. It looked violent from the way that
they're calling a horse collar, and there's no way that was
he never went inside of his jersey. He grabbed the front part of his shoulder pads, and it just yanked his body momentum back. And that's what Abram's going to go over and tell him. He's coming from the front and just reaches out and snatches him backwards. He didn't grab inside of the pads.
Well, now Cameron's coming back to the lineup with 2 twins to the top, twins to the bottom.
So they'll have 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line.
Number 5 in the backfield with quarterback number 4. It's going to be a snap back, and he's going to find the corner.
Throws it deep.
And 2 falls down, but there's no chance he had it.
That ball was thrown out of bounds. He wasn't going to get there.
The one thing we hadn't done much tonight, Wallace, is scores, but let's run through some scores. Mart's up on Tig 27-7 in the third quarter. Conley's up on Sunnyvale 29-15. Rusk is leading Fairfield 28-7. Buffalo's up on Elkhart 28-0 at half. Norman G's up on Bremont 15-14. West is leading Lexington 7-0. As Cameron comes back to the line of scrimmage, they got a little confusion, and Cameron's going to call a timeout.
So we're going to go to a break as they do.
Let's run over some scores while we're here. Grosbeck is winning tonight, Freddie.
What I tell you, what's the score?
It was bad earlier. It was 27-0 earlier, and Vance told us it had gotten worse. Lorena's leading Franklin in the fourth quarter. New Waverly was ahead of Centerville in the first. We're not getting really good updates. For some reason, our phones are not. Riesel's leading Marlin 19-7. Mart's up 34-7 over Tig now. Leon's come back on Rosebud Lott and taking the lead 16-12. That was in the second quarter. But for some reason, they're not refreshing on it for us tonight. But Cameron's coming back to the line of scrimmage here. Twins to the bottom, one to the top with a wing on the right. And a running back flanking the quarterback. And he's going to go back to the corner and throws it short. And that's going to be a
holding call, yeah. And there was a holding call there.
That was pretty obvious.
I want to see if that's in the end zone, because if it's in the end zone, then it's safety. No, the ball wasn't in the end zone.
Yeah, so it's going to be 10 yards from the goal line. So it'll be 1st and 10. No, actually it will stay second and 10.
Yeah.
For the Cameron at the 10. And
it'll
one
be from
thing,
the spot of the foul.
There's no running the clock out for Cameron. They're just going to steadily keep throwing it. So with 11:33 left, Cameron is steadily putting in the air right now.
So it'll be second down from the 15-yard line.
So Cameron comes to the line with twins to the top and one to the bottom. He's going to drop back, and the Black Cats are all in his face.
And the throw is short.
He just didn't have the strength to get it there because he had two cats in his face.
Yeah, and that looked like Connor McNeil and Trey Jones, who were there ready to put him down if he hadn't gotten that ball out.
So now we're going to be at third. Earlier they didn't say the hold happened in the end zone, which was clearly in the end zone. They called it at the 3. So now it's 3rd and 13. Goal to go. So Mexia got a break there.
So we'll see if Mexia can hold here.
That would be really big if Mexia could hold here. So now it's twins to the top, twins to the bottom, 4 with a 36 flank to his left. He's going to drop back, and he's going to throw it down the middle.
And that ball, I don't know if that was the wind or just an errant pass, but that ball just kind of trickled.
I'll tell you, it looked like a duck got shot in duck season right there.
Because one broke inside of the cornerback, but that ball fell in the middle of that X in the end zone.
So Mexia was able to hold with their backs against the wall. Cameron's bringing out their field goal unit. And the thing is the wind is picked up.
Right.
So he's going to have to do a tee shot right here and play the wind with his leg. But he had a strong leg in warm-up. So we'll see what happens here. The wind blowing from the south. If he can put it between the uprights. And he cannot. Mexia holds once again. And the Black Cats keep within shooting distance.
Right. And with that's a big play for Mexia, as they're able to keep from letting Cameron get any points, keep it at a 2-possession game, and now they get the ball back. Albeit they'll be pretty deep in their own territory. Actually, it gets moved out to the 20-yard line because that's where they tried the kick from. So Mexia will take over, and maybe we can get one of those big plays we seen earlier.
Maybe we can see Wiley getting shot out of a rocket,
right.
And then next thing you know, it's 15-21, and Mejia's back out there to take the lead. So Lamarian's going to take and it's pitched back
to Jones.
And he breaks a tackle or two, and he's going to pick up a good 5.
That's a good first down play right there, Jeremy. You stay ahead of the sticks, and
that's so key. But the thing the Black Cats are hurting right now is is with a running offense, they've got to be explosive,
Right.
1 or 2 plays, because we got
clock's still
11
running.
minutes, and it's not on our side.
Right.
So the Black Cats come back out with one flank down to the bottom and in a tight formation, and got Holtby going in motion, and they're going to pitch back to him. And
he
breaks
picks up
out
a
around
block.
the right
Oh,
side.
yeah,
and
he's
across
running.
the
Oh,
40,
and he's
the
gone.
50, to the 40, 35, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Black Cats.
And that's just what we were talking about, them needing one of those big explosive plays. And all you have to do is give one of those backs a little bit of a crease to hit. And once they hit it, it's hard for anybody to run them down.
And he got shot out of a cannon. The next thing you know, he was 10 yards in front of everybody, and it wasn't no catching Holman. He said, I see the end zone, and that's where I'm headed.
Yeah, he got that pitch, and he ran into the back of one of his blockers, and that blocker picked up that linebacker. And once he got that block, he was gone.
So now we got 42. Gustavo Martinez on to add the extra point, and we got some confusion on what's going on. We got 12 seconds, plenty of time left. Do not call a timeout. We had plenty of time on the kick. We wasted the third and final. Third and final timeout on special teams here. So Mexia has 10 minutes and 30 seconds left.
We'll take a quick break.
With no timeouts.
And we'll be back as play resumes here in the fourth quarter from Black Cat Field.
As we're back to Black Cat Field, they're lining up for their extra point here.
And the Black Cats had some personnel miscommunication or mishaps there, causing the timeout. Snaps back, balls down, kicks
Pretty
up.
kick.
And good by Martinez.
So now you have 21-16. The Cameron Yoe lead. The Black Cats defense has really stepped up here in the fourth quarter.
Right.
They've moved the ball down the field, but when the Black Cats got their backs against the wall, they bowed their neck and didn't let them in. So now the Black Cats have eased back into the game, and it was 21-3 at halftime. The Black Cats have got 16 unanswered points.
13,
you're right, 21-3.
But now it's a one-possession game. You know, if you can get a good play here on your kickoff and then your defense holds, you'll have a chance to get the ball back with the chance to take the lead. You know, and that's what we were talking about, Jeremy. It didn't have to happen all in one play, but you take your time and you make some good things happen. And with those explosive players you have, they give you a chance to make big plays, put points on the board, and come back in this game.
And we're back with our Uno Dos kickoff. Both kickers out here with 9 tacklers. And don't get me wrong, our kickers have been gone down and hit all night long, but it's just odd to see a left-footed kicker and a right-footed kicker out on the field at the same time.
Well, the good thing about having both kickers is they both play linebacker outside of being kickers, so it's not new for them to go hit, and that's a deep kick,
and that's going to be a fake reverse. And Mejia's
there. Oh, and good.
Oh, he had him.
Oh, he trips him up. Oh, Mexia had him around the 18-yard line, and he was able to spin and come loose.
That's just having strength right there and able to break a tackle and make a play for your team. So now we're going to start. Cameron's going to get the ball on their own 34, but the Black Cat defense is back out there one more time.
Right, and we're going to see if the Black Cat defense can get another stop here.
And the thing is Cameron's ready to go. As the Cats are walking out on the field.
Yeah, you want to see a little more urgency here from the Black Cats as they've set the ball for play.
Yeah, we got 11 out there. At first it didn't look like we had 11.
And right now we have a uncovered receiver. Oh, here we go.
We did have 10 out there, and we come
running. There's going to be a handoff here to number 1. He cuts it back. Oh, and that's That's a block in the back, yeah, and there's the flag.
We're going to get lucky on
because
that.
Will Coleman had him to tackle him here about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, and someone came and just cleaned him up. So that'll be a penalty against Cameron.
And you know, that's one of those blocks is when they change direction. You really don't mean to, but any coach tells you, let up. Do not touch him any part of the back.
You basically want to give them that old basketball screen and just kind of stand there and get in the way.
Because once your hands get pushed out, all the referee sees is your hands out, whether you touch him or not. So that's going to be a gain of about 7, but we had a penalty of 15, so that's going to put Cameron back behind the chains, which is what Mexia needs right here.
And you know what? They actually gave him that personal foul, that
15-yard
crackback penalty now that they've outlawed. You can't crack back on someone going back in towards where the ball was
Mexia got
snapped.
lucky with one running on late. Now Cameron has twins to the bottom, one to the top.
High snap, ball on the ground.
And they're back there with the quarterback, and he's tackled at the 19, 20-yard line.
And that's Xavier Molina, who's able to get back there and bring the quarterback down. And the quarterback is –
I think there was an incidental poke in the face that was not done on purpose. It just happens. But he took one to the face, and they're going to have to replace him.
Yeah, he's going to have to come out for a play. But he looks like he's struggling right now with his eye or face somewhere in there.
That was he turned, he looked up. Xavier went to put his hands down, and when he looked up, his fingers went through his face mask. And unincidentally, did not mean to do it, but now that puts them at second and
a mile.
About 20, 30 yards to go.
Yeah, about 20. About 23.
No, actually, it's more than that.
Here's a handoff here to the running back, and he's met in the hole.
You got to tackle him, can't tackle. That's what you do. You got to get him behind the line. He did fight forward, but now you got third and 16 or 17, which is where you want right here.
Right, and he was able to pick up about 7 on that run, but
and they got a backup quarterback in, which you don't want. But
now you have to expect for them to throw the ball, or they're just going to try to run and get some yards here for fourth down.
So
but they're splitting out.
So we got twins to the top, twins to the bottom. Quarterback hands off to number. No, he's throwing it deep, and number 6 is out there.
And that ball just kind of floated towards the Mexia sideline.
He threw that ball high, and when the wind caught it.
Yeah, it just pushed it out of bounds.
That duck showed back up we seen earlier.
Right. And that's how strong this wind is tonight, y'all. That receiver was running inside between the numbers and the hash, and he threw it down towards the receiver. And when that ball got high, the wind just carried it out of bounds.
And that's pretty impressive strength by a backup quarterback to throw the ball that far with the wind affecting it. But now you would think Trey Holman would be back. He is back.
Yeah.
And, you know, last year, Wallace, he was one or two
we've seen him
arm tackles away.
We've seen him break one loose on a run already tonight. So
let's see if they're going to punt it to him in this situation.
It's a high snap. And it's on the ground.
Snap. And he's going to be tackled at the 15-yard line. The Black Cats are making some magic tonight in the second half.
And that was Will Coleman who came streaming off the edge to force the punter to try to escape. And then about 2 other Black Cats got there and brought him on down. And so Mexia take over deep in Yoemen territory.
What we've seen tonight is Mejia's had some bad snaps, and Cameron wasn't able to take advantage of them. Now with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game, Mexia takes advantage of a Cameron bad snap, which has had good snaps all night.
Right. And now Mejia's offense trots back out to the field, and they've found some success here in the second half. We're going to see if they can keep it up here on this possession.
And they come in tight with Holman going back around, and it's
same
pitch
to
play.
Holman. And he cuts.
And he cuts back.
And that time he's stacked up.
He's going to pick up a yard maybe.
Yeah.
But this is Mejia's, 4th time down here inside the 20-yard line. And earlier, if they would have been able to make a touchdown instead of field goal, it'd be a tie ball game because you know the coach would have gone for extra point each time.
Right.
So Cameron's made some big stands tonight, as Mexia has. Great ball game here to open up the 2020 season. And it's good to see these kids out here after what they've been through for the last 6 months to 8 months, that they're actually getting out, getting to play, enjoy it. And we got a great opening game here tonight for all you out there. Pitch back to Jones. just nowhere to go for him.
No, he's not. He hasn't been able to get around that edge, and then when he's cutting back, Cameron's defenders are right there to stack him up.
This might be a good play to try to get you a corner route right now. They're expecting run, and get you a corner route out there. And back in the day, Justin and I wore the corner routes out, Wallace.
Maybe you spread it out here like you've done a couple times and just kind of loosen that defense up a little bit, and you can maybe take advantage of a mismatch with a receiver or give yourself more space to run the ball.
Or on the bootleg, you get Lamarian outside where he can use all of his athletic ability. There's what we got. We call.
He gets around, and he's running.
And he got down to about the 10.
Yeah, and see where they're going to spot it. They're going to spot it, looks like, at the 11.
You think we get a field goal right here?
I know we have the leg to kick it. I don't know if we're going to kick the field goal or if we're going to go for it here. I mean, you're down 5.
I would go for a field goal here.
Keeps you down 2.
I mean, you're inside down there, and I think I'd be going for field goal.
I think there's
knowing I got the leg, but they're lining up, and Mejia's going for it.
We're saying we want to try to get a first down or get points here.
And there's no timeout, so you got to go. And see, there we go. We're confusing again. Come on, Mejia. 4 yards to a first down.
Oh, and there's a defender in the backfield as soon as the ball is snapped.
Cameron Yoe tackling on the 15-yard line.
The nose guard jumped the snap, and Miller never had a chance. He didn't even get from under the center before he was wrapped up.
As he took his left step out from under center, he was hit.
Right.
So now Mejia's got to do the same thing they did a minute ago. They got to make a big play and get the ball back.
Momentum switches, and the good thing, though, is you still have them pinned down deep in their own territory. So your defense needs to bow up and get stopped right here.
And the starting quarterback is back, so that's good that he's not hurt and he's able to fight through the poke in the eye. Cameron's going to come out, and they're going to have twins to the top, and the quarterback's flanked on each side by running backs. And surely they're going to run it right here to number 1. He's going to come out, and they're just going to get him outside. And, he almost fumbled there. They stop him at the Cameron Yoe 21.
That looks like that was Wiley who was able to get a hand on the ball, but he was able to keep it under his arm long enough to hit the ground. And
that loaf of bread kind of wiggled in there a little bit, but didn't completely fall out. So
now Mejia will have the ball or be on defense still with Cameron at 2nd and 5. You're looking to get a stop right here and keep them down deep in their own territory.
So it's twins to the top and single to the right with the quarterback flanked by a running back on each side. Snap back and it's going to be handed off to one, and he falls in the backfield.
And he's going to be down for a loss of about 2 or 3 on that play.
That's a big play right there, Wallace.
And that's going to make it 3rd and about 7 here.
So you're looking here. They haven't run on Mejia much, so as Mejia, you've got to pin your ears back and say, look, I can't let nobody buy me. I've got to make sure you keep everything in front. But you got to break on, because they've run slants, you got to break on them and knock them down and not let them get this first down because you need the ball back. So they come out and twins to the top, man to the bottom. Number 4 is flanked by running back on each side. Big play right here. Snap back. He's going to hand off to number 1. And Mejia's going to knock him short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down.
And that was Jarrell Wiley who came and filled right at the end to bring him down short. It's going to bring up 4th and 2.
Surely Cameron wouldn't go for it here with your back in a –
Right. It looks like they're bringing out the punt team. But as Mejia, you have to stay disciplined here. You can't run off and let them fake a punt and then pick up the yardage for a first down because you're down. You'll be inside of 5 minutes when this ball is snapped.
So this is going to be the first time Cameron's actually lined up in the punt formation. Their quarterback's dropped back a couple of times for him, but he's dropped back, and he's going to punt it deep to Holdman. Let's see if we can't get him to do something here.
Oh, and he gets a good –
He's going to have he calls a fair catch.
Yeah, he didn't – I don't think he had a block set up for him.
Well, with 5 minutes left, the Black Cats have it at the 40-yard line. It's going to be an exciting 5 minutes, y'all. We're going to go to break and come back with us with Black Cat Football 2020. Mejia's back with the ball on their own 40. It's pitched back to Wiley, and he's breaking up the middle. And
he runs into his own blocker.
He hit Abraham in the back, but if he could have shifted to the right, he had nothing but open field for yards. I mean, he might have got all the way to the end zone as fast as he is. So now Mejia's coming up to the line on their own 43, 3rd and 7.
And they're going to get it, breaking the huddle now.
So we're back tight with Mexia, with Holman wing, Wiley and Jones in the backfield, and it's going to be a bootleg.
And Miller gets around. Oh, that's a pass interference. Oh, we got a flag over here.
But I bet they're going to call offensive lineman downfield.
Yep.
On that, I know he wants to make that.
There should be offsetting penalties because you can't tackle the receiver before the ball gets there.
So we're going to have – it's going to be backed up against Mexia because we had linemen 10 yards downfield.
They thought he was going to run the ball. And Miller probably should have ran the ball there because he probably had 10 yards of open space in front of him. I know we had illegal men downfield, but that doesn't keep you from throwing a pass interference flag.
If he would have thrown that, it really would have helped Mexia. Now we're back behind the chains, 2nd and 11, with still 4 minutes and 13 seconds. But we need a big gain here of 6 or 7 yards to stay on course for this offense.
Throw it. Oh, and Miller's running. Oh, he spins off and
they're just gang tackling right now. He run a lot of yards for nothing.
Yeah.
If he could have broke back, he might have had to. They did pick up a couple of yards, they're saying.
Yeah, I don't know if he if no receivers broke open or what that was, but
he was trying. It looked like he might have been trying to option it to Holman, but he was way too close for that.
You know, and those are little things that you have to get figured out in this offense. And Miller will learn playing quarterback. This is his first year playing quarterback, so he'll learn to keep his eyes peeled for those lanes. Either he's going to have to pull it down and run it or go ahead and get rid of it.
So now Mexia comes up on a 3rd and 10 here. They're going to hand it.
And that's Jones around the edge.
And he just doesn't have anywhere to go.
There's nowhere. He's not able to cut back. He's not able to cut it up.
So with 3 minutes left.
Oh, and now you have a penalty.
We have a flag coming up.
There's going to be a flag against Cameron as somebody pushed Jarrell Wiley into the ground after the play.
So Mexia might have got a break right there. We got 3 minutes and 6 seconds while the Zebras are talking about what they're going to do here. But we did have a flag come out late.
So right now we're just waiting for him to talk it over.
So number 8's back out running, so he's back. That's a good thing he's not hurt.
We're gonna see what they sorted out and call. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Cameron. It's gonna be a 15-yard penalty, and that'll give Mexia a first down.
A fresh new set of downs. Yeah. That's exactly what they needed.
And that'll move Mexia into Cameron territory and put the ball about the Yoemen 45 with 3:06 left in the fourth quarter. Mexia still got life with a new set of downs to try to get this ball down to the end zone and take the lead. I mean, you hear the Cameron fans aren't happy, but I mean, that was a clear penalty over here right on the Cameron sideline.
So Mexia comes back up. They're going to be in that tight formation once again. Cameron's hollering, Mejia's hollering. It's the loudest it's been all night long in this game. Mejia's tight, and they're going to hand it.
Oh.
And he's tackled. That's what you can't go down right there. You got to be able to fight through that. I think Mejia's trying to bootleg, but
they're trying to boot, but Cameron's widening. They're widening out that end man, that outside backer, and then just sending him off the edge every time. and the tackle's already engaged with the defensive end, so he's not able to get out to block him. And so the quarterback has to be accountable for that man. And that time he was able to get to Miller and bring him down. And that's a big loss of about 8 on that play.
So Mexia, they split out now. Trey is split to the top, and he drops back, and you know he's going to hit Trey Holman down the field. He's looking for him.
Oh!
And they could have got Trey for a push
off
there,
yeah.
But
and that ball was just a little too high for Holman. If Holman probably keeps running and he's trying to time it up and go up for it, if he maybe takes a few more steps down the field, he would have put himself in a better position to catch that one.
So now we got 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. Mexia's 3rd and 18. Worst thing you can do with this offense is be behind like that. Will Coleman's going to bring the play in, but we just need a penalty.
Yeah.
A big catch here. We got to have somebody
right
step up.
here. It's a 4-down situation, so you don't have to get all of it right here.
So Mexia comes up with the tight. It's going to take Holman
and Miller rolls around outside.
And he don't have nowhere
Oh,
to
and
go.
he's pulled down by
his face mask. And they didn't call it. So now Mexia's got 2 minutes and 9 seconds left.
It's going to be
no timeouts.
4th and 14 for 15.
So this is for all the marbles right now.
It's the ball game, yeah.
And this has been a tremendous ball game out there. I hope y'all are getting to watch it on TV. Those that aren't and just listening to us, it's been an awesome game. We're sad that not all fans can be here this year, and we're having the COVID effect. But if you're able to get on YouTube, you're able to watch it live with Greer and Greer Media Time being called by Jeremy Sunday and Wallace High, and we sure appreciate the audience. So Mexia's coming up on 4th and 14.
It's going to be a snap.
It's going to be a legal motion.
Legal procedure. Everyone didn't get down on that.
The right tight end jumped up early. Must have been going to him, and he was trying to get off to the races early. So now that's going to bring up 4th and 20. Still same situation, Wallace.
Right.
Well, I'm glad we have these stools. They all worked in the first half. We stand the whole time second half. Lamarian Miller is going to take the snap. He pitches it back to Holman.
Oh, who throws?
He throws a forward pass, and that's going to be illegal.
Cameron read that out.
Cameron's going to hold on tonight and pull this one off. But the one thing we seen from the Black Cats in the second half is there's no give up.
No. You know, they made a valiant effort there in the second half, you know, and the one good thing for the Black Cats is now they have a game under their belt, and they seen the things that they need to work on and clear up and clean up, and they'll be able to do that this week heading into their next week's game. Like I said, the offense struggled for a half, and then it seemed like it started to figure things out and click. So you work off of those good things, and you keep building off of that.
And the biggest jump teams make are from week 1 to week 2.
Right.
And like we talked about, Mexia hadn't had a scrimmage, hadn't had anything. But I want to take my hats off. This has been a really clean game, and both teams come out and played good sportsmanship, and hadn't had very, very few flags, and been an awesome game. As Cameron's going to take a kneel, and that's going to take 2 more of those, and that's going to be
that'll end
the end of the game for the first game of 2020. The biggest thing, everybody's winners tonight because we had football.
Right. You know, like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, hats off to the Mexia ISD administration, faculty, staff, the coaching staff, everything that they've done to make sure that they could bring us a football game tonight. With everything going on, just being able to watch football brings a little bit more of a sense of normalcy to this community during this pandemic, and we have to be grateful for that. As Cameron takes one last knee, and then they'll be able to run the clock out from here. So that'll bring us to the end of the game with the Cameron Yoemen coming out on top of the Mexia Black Cats 21-16 here in the first game of the 2020 Black Cat season.
I just want to say a big shout out to those viewers we had. those listeners, we'll be back here next Friday night. We're going to be in Troy for the Black Cat second game of the year. But we're going to be streaming all year long.
Right. And real quick, for y'all that are still watching and it looks a little weird to you, there's not mocking or anything. They're waving to the opposing team because they're not allowed to line up at the 50 and shake hands due to some of the precautions for COVID.
We've tackled each other all night,
yeah,
but we
right.
can't
We can't shake hands.
But,
so they wave it, and then
hey,
they'll go and do their traditional.
You know what? No matter what the rules were, we had an awesome game in front of us tonight. The Black Cats come up on the short end, but we've seen a lot of heart. Wallace, we got a big season ahead of us, and hopefully we're going to get to play the whole season. But I'm gonna go back 25 years from tonight. I've watched Cameron do this to us year after year after year. Cameron is a heck of a program.
Right, and you know, just going back to some things, and you were able to see, you know, Cameron's got a long tradition and, like you say, a great program. And they're in a system where these kids have been running this system since they started playing football in junior high, whereas Mejia's had 3 weeks to try to implement a new system. And it was very clear to see that they had their struggles with their new offense there for a good portion of the game, and they started to figure some things out. So I think as we see this season go on, Mejia will kind of get things under control, and they'll start to figure out the nuances of the offense that they're running and everything that they're doing. And we'll see a much crisper and a much more explosive Black Cat offense.
Well, to end things tonight, Mejia was on the losing end, but like I said, everybody's winners. We got to play football. From Black Cat Field, week 1, Mejia lost 21-16. Be careful, everybody, on your way home. We're going to call it a night from Black Cat Field, opening season 2020. We'll have Coach's Show next Wednesday at Joe Fridays. Y'all come out and join us. Give these restaurants some business while you get to see us talk to the coaches and the kids. It'll be live, and we'll see you next Friday once again for Black Cat Football 2020.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
Healthcare is far and away the most important issue to the people of Central Texas. And while our healthcare system is incredibly complex, what people want from healthcare is really quite simple. They want access to quality healthcare, and they don't want to go broke or bankrupt trying to pay for it. That's why I support the Medicare for America Act. Medicare for America will provide access to quality healthcare for all Americans. It will provide protection for bankruptcy due to healthcare costs. It will help us rein in the cost of prescription drugs by allowing the government to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies, and unlike other proposals, will not outlaw private health insurance.